He entered an aura of quiet dignity, yet they dismissed him, mistaking his service for subservience. What followed was a revelation that silenced their arrogance entirely. The Miami sun dipped low, painting South Beach in hues of gold. The Azure Sands Beach Club buzzed with the rhythm of waves and the soft clink of glasses. Aaron, a seasoned veteran of the club, moved with seamless grace among the cabanas. Years here had taught him the delicate art of attentiveness without intrusion. Guests expected flawlessness, yet not all offered courtesy in return. As he refilled champagne flutes, a loud, entitled laugh cut through the air. For tourists, sunglasses perched and voices booming strode in, acting as if they owned the place. Aaron, unfazed, recognized their type. Those who rendered staff invisible until their needs arose. The hostess, bending to the power of money, led them to a prime oceanfront table, usually reserved weeks in advance. Approaching with his notepad, Aaron was met by Logan, a man with gelled blonde hair and a conspicuously expensive gold watch. "Now this is service," Logan drawled, nudging a friend. "They send the best ones to us, huh?" Aaron met his gaze, silent, knowing some men thrived on provoking a reaction. "What's good here, my man?" another asked, idly tapping the menu. "You eat here, right?" It wasn't a question but an assumption of Aaron's inability to afford such luxuries. "The seafood platter is popular," Aaron replied evenly, ignoring the bait. "Fresh oysters, stone crab and jumbo shrimp." One of the women, Madison, wrinkled her nose. "Oysters? That's like a peasant thing." She laughed. Her boyfriend chuckled. "Relax, babe. Maybe it's a delicacy where he's from." The group erupted in laughter. Aaron remained poised, pen ready, knowing the mocking had only just begun. This was going to be a long night. Aaron stood, notepad ready, already classifying them. They were the kind who saw service staff as entertainment, a game where superiority was the only prize. Logan, the blonde man, sprawled in his chair, his gold watch glinting. "All right, Aaron, sell me on something good," he commanded, his voice demanding a performance. "Give me your best sales pitch. What's the most premium drink you've got?" Aaron, unperturbed, recited, "Our top-shelf options include a Louis XIII cognac, a Yamazaki 18-year whiskey, and a 1942 Don Julio Añejo." Logan whistled low. "Damn pricey. You ever tasted any of that?" "Well, they don't let you near the expensive stuff." The others snickered. "We have plenty of cocktails made with premium spirits if you're looking for something custom," Aaron offered. Madison, the woman whose name her friends overused, tilted her head. "Oh my God, let's do something fun. Aaron, surprise us. But, like, actually make it good. Something strong. Something that hits like a truck but still makes us feel like we're sipping class," Drew, the third man, chimed in. Aaron gave a small nod. "I'll bring out something special." As he turned, Logan's voice sliced through the air again. Hey, Aaron." The mock concern in his voice was already grating. Aaron paused but didn't turn. "We're thirsty now. Make it fast." More chuckles followed. Aaron walked away, sensing their expectant stares, waiting for a reaction he wouldn't give. At the bar, their loud voices still carried. "Damn man, did you see how serious he is?" Logan guffawed. "Like, chill out, bro. You're serving drinks, not running a Fortune 500 company." Madison snorted. "I know, right? He talks like he's giving a TED Talk on cocktails." Drew, the quieter one, let out a low chuckle. "You think he actually drinks this stuff or he just memorizes the menu?" Logan smirked. "Oh please. Dude's probably never had a real drink in his life. I bet he goes home and drinks like Hennessy with Sprite or something." Laughter erupted. Aaron, composed, stood at the bar. The bartender, hearing it all, raised an eyebrow. "You want me to handle this one?" he quietly asked. Aaron shook his head. "I got it." He meticulously selected spirits, crafting custom cocktails with a master's precision. If they wanted to test him, fine. He'd give them something that would shut them up. But as he placed the drinks on the tray, he knew they weren't done yet. And sooner or later they would push too far. Aaron returned, placing the expertly crafted drinks on the table with practiced ease. The glasses shimmered under the golden hour light, elegant, balanced, refined. He had chosen flavors only a true connoisseur would appreciate. But the moment Logan took a sip, his smirk widened, and that was never a good sign. "Oh man." Logan coughed dramatically, setting the glass down with exaggerated disgust. What is this? Some kind of science experiment. Madison took a sip of hers and gasped mockingly. Whoa. Did you just put random expensive stuff together and hope for the best? Drew swirled his drink and sniffed it, playing along. It's got that artisanal, handcrafted, I tried too hard kind of taste. The group burst into laughter, their voices echoing across the beach club. Nearby guests glanced over, but no one intervened. The unspoken rule in such places was simple. Money bought the right to behave however one pleased. Aaron didn't flinch. He'd seen this act before. Mock the service, make it a joke, turn the person into a spectacle. Logan picked up his drink again, holding it up like a professor dissecting a failed experiment. Come on, Aaron, be honest, man. You really drink stuff like this? I do, Aaron answered smoothly, his tone revealing nothing. Really? Logan leaned in, grinning. Or is this like a script they make you memorize? 'Cause I mean... He let the words hang, looking Aaron up and down. Aaron knew the implication. A black man in a luxury setting couldn't possibly belong, couldn't possess a refined palate. This world wasn't his. Madison leaned toward Logan, whispering something that made him laugh. Then with a fake pout she turned to Aaron. Don't be mad, Aaron, she said, drawing out his name mockingly. We're just having fun. Drew nodded, grinning. Yeah man, no need to get all serious. You should lighten up. Aaron tilted his head, scanning their faces. They weren't just laughing at the drinks. They were laughing at him, wanting a reaction. People like this thrilled in breaking someone's composure, testing boundaries. So Aaron did the unexpected. He smiled. You're right, he said smoothly. I should lighten up. Let's have some fun. For a moment they looked surprised. Then Logan grinned. Now we're talking. But they had no idea the fun was about to be on Aaron's terms. Logan leaned back, that smug grin plastered on his face, convinced he had Aaron right where he wanted him. The rest of the group relaxed, anticipating another round of easy humiliation at Aaron's expense. But Aaron had a different plan. He picked up Logan's drink, examining it in the setting sun's glow. You know, Logan, he said, rolling the glass between his fingers, I think I might have made a mistake with your order. Logan raised an eyebrow. Oh yeah. Aaron nodded, his voice smooth, casual. Yeah, see, this drink. This right here, it's not for everyone. A flicker of confusion crossed Logan's face. Not for everyone? Aaron smiled. It's an acquired taste. The kind of thing you appreciate when you've developed a certain refinement. He set the drink back down. It's not about money. You can buy $1,000 bottle, but that doesn't mean you know what to do with it. Madison let out a small scoff, but Logan's smirk wavered slightly. Drew shifted. Aaron turned to Madison. Ever had a wine pairing that actually made sense? One where the sommelier took time to explain why this specific vintage complements the dish. Madison blinked. Well yeah, obviously. Aaron nodded. And did you appreciate it, or did you just pretend to? Madison opened her mouth, but no words came out. Aaron chuckled softly, shaking his head. It's funny. People love to flaunt wealth, throw out big names. Louis XIII Yamazaki 18 Dom Perignon. But ask them what makes it special? Silence. He leaned in slightly, lowering his voice just enough for the weight of his words to settle. Luxury isn't about what you can buy. It's about what you understand. Logan's jaw tightened. Aaron straightened, adjusting his cuffs, and smiled. So if you don't like the drink, that's fine. Maybe it's just not meant for you. The silence at the table stretched too long. Madison shifted. Drew looked away. Even Logan, who had mocked Aaron all night, suddenly found himself on the other side. But Aaron wasn't finished. He picked up the untouched glass of water on the table and gently placed it in front of Logan. Here, he said. Maybe start with this. A beat. Then soft laughter from a nearby table. Someone had overheard. The realization flickered across Logan's face, a flush creeping up his neck. For the first time that evening he was the punchline, and he didn't like it. Logan's jaw clenched, his fingers tightening around the glass. The air around the table had changed, the easy laughter, the smug expressions all gone. Madison tapped her nails, eyes darting between Aaron and Logan, waiting for someone to reset the power dynamic. Drew, who had been relatively quiet, exhaled sharply, forcing a chuckle. All right man, you got jokes. I respect that. Aaron smiled, but there was nothing forced about it. No jokes. Just the truth. Logan leaned forward, lowering his voice. You think you're better than us or something? Aaron stayed perfectly still. I think you assumed I wasn't. Silence. A waiter passed, placing a new dish at a nearby table. The ocean waves continued their steady rhythm, indifferent to the tension. Madison, seeking an escape, exhaled dramatically. Ugh, whatever. Can we just get the check? Aaron nodded. Of course. He stepped away, but instead of going directly to the bar, he took a slight detour. As he passed a well-dressed older man in his 60s, he paused for a brief conversation. The man greeted Aaron like an old friend, a firm handshake exchanged before he nodded towards Logan's table. Aaron returned a few minutes later, placing the bill between Logan and Drew. Logan picked it up with an exaggerated scoff. Sheesh, glad my card has no limit. But as he skimmed the receipt, his expression froze. Madison leaned over his shoulder. What is it? Logan's lips pressed into a tight line. He didn't answer, his face a mix of confusion and something akin to regret. Drew grabbed the receipt. All drinks comped with appreciation from the owner, he read aloud. Madison frowned. Wait, what? Who's the owner? Aaron took a step back, allowing them a clear view of the older man at the VIP section. The one he had just spoken to. You just met him. Aaron's voice was calm, but the weight behind his words landed with perfect precision. That's my father. Logan's smirk evaporated. Madison's jaw slackened. Even Drew looked genuinely stunned. Aaron continued, his tone light but deliberate. He started this place 25 years ago. He was a bartender before that. Learned the craft, built something from nothing. And I've spent my whole life here. He gave Logan a polite nod. So, yeah, I know a thing or two about taste. Madison swallowed. You mean Aaron smiled. I run the club with him. I just like working the floor sometimes. Keeps me grounded. Logan shifted uncomfortably, appearing to want to speak, but no words came. Aaron tilted his head slightly. Still think I don't belong here? Logan's lips parted, but nothing came out. And that silence, that was worth more than any tip he could leave. The tables had turned, and this time they had no witty comeback. For the first time all evening, Logan looked uncomfortable. Not angry, not smug, just utterly thrown off balance. His bravado was chipped away. He was now staring at Aaron not as a joke, but as someone he had utterly misjudged. Drew, shifting in his seat, was the first to break the silence. He let out a half-laugh, half-exhale, shaking his head. Damn, that's crazy. Madison, still reeling, looked between Aaron and the VIP section where his father sat. Wait, so you're like rich? Aaron gave a small shrug. My family did well. But money doesn't mean much if you don't respect the people who make places like this run. Madison quickly straightened up, smoothing her hair, as if suddenly realizing she'd been speaking to someone with genuine influence. Oh well, I mean, we were just joking, you know? She flashed a nervous smile. Nothing personal. Aaron's expression remained neutral. Personal or not, it says a lot about a person when they think respect is optional. Madison immediately looked away, focusing on her nails. Logan, still gripping the receipt, let out a dry chuckle. Damn man, you really set us up for that one. Aaron shook his head. I didn't set you up. You walked into it yourself. Logan's smirk faltered. He knew it was true. Drew finally sighed, rubbing his temples. Alright, well, that was humbling. Aaron slid the check presenter back towards them. We comped the drinks, but the tip's on you. His tone was light, but there was an edge, an unspoken test. Would they leave still acting superior or having learned something? Logan glanced at his friends, then pulled out his wallet. For the first time that night he made no show of it. No flashy gestures, no smug commentary. Just a quiet acceptance. He slipped a stack of crisp bills inside and closed the booklet. Aaron picked it up, nodded, and walked away without another word. As he reached the bar, the bartender leaned over. They finally shut up? Aaron smirked. They learned to listen. The bartender chuckled, shaking his head. I'll drink to that. Meanwhile, at their table, Logan sat in silence, staring at the ocean. The group, once full of laughter, was now subdued. For the first time, they weren't the ones telling the story. They were the ones who got taught the lesson. As the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in deep oranges and purples, Aaron stepped away from the floor. The evening rush was settling. The loud, arrogant tourists were now subdued. Their energy completely shifted. They weren't angry, weren't laughing, they were just quiet. Logan, Drew and Madison stood gathering their things. Logan stole a final glance toward the VIP section where Aaron's father sat. The man who built the very club he had walked into, assuming he was above it all. Now Logan looked like someone who had been handed a mirror instead of a menu. As they walked past the bar, Drew gave Aaron a small nod. Not forced, not mocking, but genuine acknowledgement. Aaron returned it. Madison, still trying to save face, flashed a small, awkward smile before hurrying to catch up. Logan said nothing, but the look in his eyes said enough. Aaron took a slow breath. He had seen so many like them before. Those who entered places like this believing their money made them untouchable, their status superior. But money doesn't buy character. Money doesn't teach respect. And tonight they had learned that the hard way. As he turned back toward the ocean, the bartender leaned over the counter with a smirk. Think they'll ever act like that again? Aaron chuckled. Maybe not here. The bartender shook his head. I'd call that a win. Aaron took one last glance at the empty table, then turned back to work, his expression calm. He didn't need their validation, he had already won. Respect isn't about who has the most money, the nicest watch, or the best seat at the table. It's about how you treat the people serving it. Because sooner or later, everyone learns that status means nothing if you lack the character to match it. If you believe respect is earned through actions, not wealth, hit that like button and subscribe for more stories that make you think.